I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I'm not scared of what the Blackhawks can do.
It's got to start on time and make sure you don't let playoff Kane and Taves be playoff Kane and Taves.
I think Chicago definitely has the experience with Crawford. He's, like I said, 3-time Stanley Cup champion.
The Oilers, they don't have much of that experience.
They're a little too top heavy that it could come to bite them in the butt.
Hey everyone, it's John here from RPO Bay Hockey, and this will be the Blackhawks vs. Oilers play-in round series preview, and we'll get some predictions in there. So if you are new, welcome to the channel. Smash that like button and leave your thoughts in the comment section below. We're going to get right into this. Sir Cardinal TV, Dullany TV, Jeff Warburton, and those are the Oilers fans. Those are the Oilers perspectives that we will hear in this video. And then Windy City Hockey, Nick, and we'll also hear from Amadeo Trado. So we're going to hear from both teams, both perspectives. I'll give a little bit of my thoughts in this video, a little bit of my predictions, and let's get right into it.
First off, I just want to say thanks for having me on. Big fan. Love how the channel's been growing lately. Hawks got to do one. I think they got to stick to 5-on-5 hockey. Edmonton, yeah, they got McDavid and Draisaitl. Had Nugent Hopkins. He's been coming in his own last couple of years with those two, but even that Athanasiu pickup, I think he's got the speed and the skill, not to match McDavid, but be able to keep up. And he was a 30-goal scorer. As good as Edmonton looks on paper with their offense, a lot of that comes from the power play. They obviously got the top-ranked power play in the league. I think 5-on-5, they're a little too top-heavy that it could come to bite them in the butt, whether it is against Chicago or if they happen to advance. Also, their penalty kill, second ranked in the league. At 5-on-5, they allow a lot of shots. Their defense is middle of the pack in the league overall. So I think if the Hawks would stick to 5-on-5 hockey.
4 players going into this playoff of Taves, Kane, Keith, and Crawford, they all combine 468 playoff games.
Even a guy like Brandon Saad, he's been to 3 conference finals, won 2 cups. Those are all in his first 3 years of his career. So he's got some good playoff pedigree to him too. Not that the Hawks defense is a strength of theirs, but they have been undermanned all year. They won't get Seabrook back. But Adam Boqvist is a guy that's gotten better every game. His role has expanded over the season. Calvin DeHaan was probably the most consistent defenseman the Hawks had this year, not offensively, but his defense. The Hawks, I believe, at the 9th-ranked penalty kill right now. They've been missing DeHaan for the last few months, so he'll be a big boost.
A potential debut coming in with their top prospect, Ian Mitchell. If he makes his NHL debut with the Hawks during this playoff, that could help the Hawks defense, which has been known to not be that good this year, letting the most shots against during the entire season of play.
And I think Crawford he's a game breaker. I think he's the most underrated goalie in the league at times, especially when it comes to playoff time. You look at his numbers in the playoffs, whether you could say that the Hawks had strong blue lines those years they went deep or not, the numbers still show that he was able to keep that puck in the net, and that's really what it comes down to at the end of the day.
What do they need to do? Well, I think it's the same as any other team in the whole play-in series, is just start on time, right? Especially playoff Kane, Taves, that's kind of the whole fear when this thing got announced, is you just got to start on time and make sure you don't let playoff Kane and Taves be playoff Kane and Taves. You prevent that from happening. Blackhawks, yeah, they're supposed to be back to pretty much full health when this thing starts, but the Oilers have a pretty good chance no matter what, as long as they prevent the Blackhawks from getting the early start in the series, I'd say.
When we talk about playoffs and big moments, that's clutch factor. And if you look at both teams, they have those clutch players, Patty Kane, Jonathan Taves, Edmonton Oilers, Leon Draisaitl, Connor McDavid. So when you look at that, are you confident in what the Edmonton Oilers have, obviously up front? I mean, that line of Draisaitl, Nugent Hopkins, Yamamoto that constructed in the second half of the season. Are you confident in that clutch factor for the Oilers?
Oh, 100%. And especially given what the Oilers kind of got out of the entire cast of characters on the roster throughout the year. You look at, okay, you got your guarantees in Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, and realistically, you want to throw that Draisaitl line together and pretty much you have a guarantee in any of those 2 other, Nugent Hopkins or Yamamoto. I'm liking what we have. In the playoffs, if they're going to let things kind of be a little bit more physical and let guys get away with a little bit more with the stick, you got to capitalize every chance you get. And number 1 power play, we should be able to do it, but terrible time if it does come up dry, that's for sure. When I did my preview the other day, I think the way I put it is you probably start Mike Smith game 1, but then depending on how the performance goes, game 2 is totally wide open, right? If it's a loss game 1, Koskinen probably starts game 2. I don't know if there's a clear starter because, you know what, everybody probably more inclined to go with Mike Smith to start based on what he did last year with Calgary Flames.
Yeah.
But then, you know what, you have Mike Smith not fully ready to go after training camp. you start Koskinen, and we all know what happens when goalies get hot in the playoffs. So I don't see there's a clear starter, but hopefully, because I mean, one of the least favorite questions in playoffs is how's your goaltending situation doing, right?
Oilers, they platoon their goalies, so who knows? And the defense, I think this is the kryptonite for both teams. It's the defense and the goaltending this year. So it's going to come down to offense, I think. I would definitely go with Mike Smith's game one. I like both teams. They're both run and gun. I think it's going to be a very action-packed series going offensively. But like you said, penalties are very hard to come by. So I don't know, but the experience factor is key. And Chicago's got a ton of playoff experience.
The fact that they're playing playoff Kane, playoff Taves. Draisaitl in 2017, he was the best player in the play. He had a good year, but he was the best. Didn't even go point per game in the season. And then the playoffs, he played better than McDavid. He played better than anyone. He was scoring like crazy. He got like 16 points. If playoff Draisaitl can come back in full swing, and McDavid, and like with Yamamoto and Nuge on his wings, again, hopefully they don't change that. Hopefully Athanasiou can pick it up. I mean, that's just another player who it's just like, he had a bad year. He came to the Oilers. He wasn't playing great on the Oilers. But now there's like this giant break.
And overtime with the Edmonton Oilers with that speed, like that could be, I would say even against the Vegas Golden Knights, but against the Blackhawks, those would be the craziest overtimes I've ever seen in my life.
Man, the Oilers were at a 93% chance of making the playoffs when the season ended. And now they're at a 50-50 shot against a team that has 3 cups. But we got to go with what we saw at the season as well. I mean, the Oilers were the better team. The Blackhawks snuck into this position where they're able to fight for a playoff spot. Good for them. It'll be exciting to watch. I'm going to be nervous the entire time, but I got Oilers in 4 for that first matchup.
I am very confident in the Oilers. They're a lot younger. I think that's going to help them. I know the experience is key, but I think the Edmonton's run and gun style, what they do this year with 2 top centers in the league, and plus a third with Nugent Hopkins actually going to the wing, the experience is key. I expect it to go all 5 games, and I got the Oilers winning in 5.
I'm really set on a 4-game series because obviously no matter which way it goes, 4-game series, at least you get the 4-game playoffs in. But I think the Oilers can take her 3-1 in 4 games and move on. And I know they were reseeding the whole bracket, obviously being up here in Cold Lake this week. I haven't had much time to review what the NHL has been doing, but I think the Oilers can take it and get into that, first round and then see where it goes from there.
I honestly can see the Blackhawks taking this series in the 5-game series. So I think it goes the distance between the Hawks and Oilers.
So 3-2 Blackhawks series win. Is there one player you could see for the Blackhawks really stepping up that maybe didn't step up in the season?
Alex DeBrincat. He had a rough season this year, and he's playing against his former teammate from the Erie Otters and Connor McDavid. Whenever DeBrincat plays against McDavid, the cat shows up, and I expect some big play from Alex DeBrincat.
That is actually a very good point. Strome and DeBrincat facing their former teammate.
Yeah, and then there's also Drake Caggiula, who's a former Oiler, and every time the Hawks play the Oilers, Caggiula does play pretty well against them.
I know it may come up biased, but I got to go with the experience of my Hawks. The Hawks, they were lucky to get in right now. Brinkhead's been a little snake bitten this year. You look at his numbers; they're significantly down as he put up 40 last year.
Yeah.
But I think you know what, these guys, a lot of them are getting their first taste at the playoffs. I think anything can happen. I'd like to think that those guys will end up coming through as well. So I'm going with the Hawks in 5. Could really go either way, so I'm just excited to have some hockey back and see where it goes.
Thank you for watching. I was editing this video, so I just wanted to make an outro on my own and just say thank you to everyone that participated in this video. Thank you, Sir Cardinal. Thank you, Delaney TV. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Ammo. Thank you, Windy City Hockey. So I'm going to leave their channel descriptions, if they have a YouTube channel, in the description. And, of course, I hope to see you going forward. I will be releasing other previews. I'm preparing for another video right now, but as I'm editing this video, I wanted to make an outro just saying thank you. Thank you for 12K as well, and I'm looking forward to the future. All right, have a good one. Peace out.